Still raining where I'm at. It's been raining all day. Okay. So we've got super fast tortoises. Rafiq of the many Voltron deck for YouTube. And here it is. So yeah, he's running Rafiq of the many, obviously, as his commander. Let's see if that's down here. Yep. So this is his commander. 1, a white, a green, and a blue for a 3/3 with Exalted, which is a mechanic I wish would make a return, because it was a super cool mechanic. Whenever a creature attacks alone, that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Excuse me. So, if you're attacking alone, you got enough Exalted, you're going to have a giant creature swinging alone with double strike. This is a Voltron deck, so Rafiq's going to be swinging alone, so he's going to be giving himself a +1/+1, and double strike on a Voltron commander is great. And we have got the rundown from Superfast Tortoise in chat, so let's give that a read here. The way the deck runs is you get an early drop creature, CMC 2 or 1 out on time, and with cheap auras and equipments, you build it up to a powerful 5 or more, turn 4 or 5, cast Rafiq, swing in. That's kind of cool. So you're using early game creatures and then auras to attach to those creatures so that you can make them threats until you can get Rafiq out. And then with Rafiq, you attempt to deal enough commander damage, but if you can't, you still have the other creature. That's kind of a second win con, like a second powerhouse. So you go tall, but like twice almost. That's kind of cool. Okay. Let's get into this. So lands, I normally skip over. Let's get into artifacts. Basilisk Collar seems awesome. Give Rafiq lifelink and death touch. Especially the fact that he gives himself double strike. Because Death Touch will just kill the second anybody blocks. Very good. Bone Splitter. 1 for an equipment that equips for 1. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Bone Splitter is just like a classic equipment. That's a fine buff. Darksteel Axe. Very cool. It's literally the same card, just with Darksteel on it. Same card, except it costs 2 to equip, but it is indestructible and gives the equipped creature +2/+0, which is cool. Eater of Virtue is one of my favorite cards recently. It is, I love this card. It's super good. 1 colorless for a 1 equipped equipment. Whenever a equipped creature dies, exile it. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. As long as the card exiled with Eater of Virtue has flying, equipped creature has flying. The same rule is true for first strike, double strike, death touch, hexproof, haste, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection, breach, trample, and vigilance. Eater of Virtue is sick. I really like this card. And this seems kind of cool with his strategy because he plays early creatures with some evasion and some good abilities. If someone happens to kill him, Eater of Virtue just stacks up abilities, and then you throw it on Rafiq, and then Rafiq has all those abilities. So that's pretty sick. Helm of the Gods is awesome. I didn't even know this card existed. This might go on the daily card highlight because that's sick. 1 for an equipment that equips for 1. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. That's pretty sick. I actually really like that card a lot. Mask of Avacyn. 2 colorless for an equipment that equips for 3. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 and has hexproof. Again, just a really quick way to give hexproof is always good. Swiftfoot Boots, we all know that. Sword of the Animist. 2 for an equipment that equips for 2. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Have you thought about running... What's it called? I think it's originally from Mirrodin Besieged, if I'm not mistaken. The card... Let me try to find it for you. Okay, so colorless, right? Will that do it? Okay. Type equipment, Oracle. Imprint. Boom. Got it. Have you ever considered... Oh, my chat has to refresh. Sword of Hearth and Home seems really good in here. That's a super good point. Kryptonite. Have you ever thought about running Stratascythe in there? When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a land card, exile it, then shuffle your library. A equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land on the battlefield with the same name as the exiled card. Like in 4-way commander games, there's a lot of blue, a lot of green. This thing actually for forest or swamps and stuff can make your commander huge. And equip 3 is not that bad. That's just one that popped into my head. Vanquisher's Axe. 1 for equipped creature gets +2/+0 and equip 2. Yeah, of course. Those are just basic little equipments that give creatures +2/+0, and like that definitely does the trick in this deck. I think some ways to give Rafiq trample would be good in here. Rafiq threatens really quick commander damage lethal. Yeah, he does. Extremely quick. How big is he? 4/4? Yeah, 4/4 when he swings alone. Yeah, 3 swings, you're dead. Probably 2 a lot of the time. Okay, so let's move on to creatures. Yeah, anybody in chat, Superfast Tortoise, the deck's creator, is in chat. So if anybody wants to shout out some cards, that's all good. Aven Squire is one of my favorite cards of all time, so I'm super happy to see it in a commander deck. 1 and a white for a 1/1 flying exalted. This card put in work back in the day. I ran this in my white weenie deck. Whoo! Turn 1 Elite Vanguard into turn 2 this or Sigiled Paladin. Do you run Sigiled Paladin? Sigiled Paladin's pretty cool. He's a little weird because of the 2 white, but I really like Sigiled Paladin. 2 white, first strike, exalted 2/2. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. Love that thing. Okay, so Blighted Agent seems nasty in here. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 infect, unblockable. Oh man, I need Blighted Agent in Bracos Apex of Forever. That is disgusting in there. Oh. I think I just found a brand new Bracos toy, baby. That's going to be good. I made a lot of Aven dual tribal decks. Avens are cool, dude. I like them. You know, honestly, Avens and Noggles might be my 2 favorite creature types. They're just cool. Noggles need more love. They only got like 5 cards. Blighted Agent is a human and can't be mutated. Thank you so much, Kryptonite. I did the same thing with Invisible Stalker because that doesn't look like a human. And then you look at Invisible Stalker and you're like, that's probably a spirit. Nah, they're both humans. Thank you so much. You just saved me from doing the same thing I did again. Bruna, Light of Alabasta. 3, 2 white and a blue. I'm getting flashbacks from the Invisible Stalker incident. 3, 2 blue, or 2 white and a blue for a 5/5 flying vigilance. When Bruna, Light of Alabasta attacks, I wish it was Alabasta. That'd be cool. You may attach to it any number of auras on the battlefield, and or you may put onto the battlefield attached to it any number of auras that could enchant it from your graveyard and or hand. Jeez. She's really good. Bruna's one of those things that's just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm gonna say Bruna. She's so like straightforward that it seems outside of my wheelhouse because I like. Yeah, Bruna's an alternative win con. I'm sure. If they just focus your 2 big threats, all your stuff goes to grave. You just play her, equipped boots to it, swing, bash face, win. I see why we don't have swords in the deck now. Auras. Yeah, I think 1 or 2 swords would be good in here though. He still runs other equipments. I think one of those swords could definitely swap out for like a Vanquisher's Axe or a Bone Splitter. Aethercast Knight, just 1 white and a blue for a 1/3 exalted. That's fine. Geist of St. Traft, I love. And this is actually a really, really cool ad. Because normally creatures entering tapped and attacking is a downside because you don't get attack triggers. But with Exalted, you don't get attack triggers. So you can swing with Geist of St. Traft, still get the buff in the double strike, while still having a 4/4 angel that's attacking. Which is really cool. That's actually a really cool tech. This is a card I pulled when I was really young. We loved this thing in our playgroup when we were little. When we were little asses. Aura's finest hour is a killer. The small axes are for speed of play. Oh, 100%. They're definitely faster equipments. Finest Hour is a killer. Let's see what that is here. Oh, I'm sure that's in here. If it's not, let's check. Yep, it's in here. Okay. We'll get to that. Guilt Spire Avenger, a green, a white, and a blue for a 2/2 Exalted. Tap it, destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. I like this card. If you're like in a Pillow Fort deck, you're making it hard for them to swing. They have to like be careful with what they're swinging with because of like Ghostly Prison effects. This seems extra annoying because the stuff that does get through probably will just die. Glistener Elf seems good for Bracos because that's not a human. I'm slowly learning. 1 green for a 1/1 Infect. Again, like you said, play early. Play early threats, throw a bunch of equipments on them, throw a Bone Slaw on this thing, and then it's a 4-turn clock. So, Heliod's Pilgrim. Or, actually you play Rafiq and it's like a 3-turn clock. 2-turn clock. Heliod's Pilgrim, 2 and a white for a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for an aura card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Yeah, sure. Tutors are always good. Ichor Claw Mirror. 2 colorless for a 1/1 Infect. When Ichor Claw Mirror becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Sure. It's a cheap Infect. It's a cheap threat that has a potential of winning, so that's fine. It's got like a sub-theme of like trying to win through small Infect. Invisible Stalker. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 Hexproof. Invisible Stalker is unblockable. That's cool. That's like 3 avenues of winning. You can either just win through straight up damage with your threats, you can win through Infect, or you can win through Rafiq. So that's really cool. Do you have Berserk in the deck? Isn't that a sorcery? No. He does not. So let's look that up. Is that how you spell Berserk? Oh my gosh, yeah, Berserk is so good. Berserk seems nutty in this deck. It's a $15 card, but it's super good. 1 green for an instant, cast Berserk only before the combat damage step. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is its power. At the beginning of your next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. Don't know how to copy, that's fair enough. I don't either. I need it in a few of my decks too. That'd actually be really good in Bracos as well. Night of Glory, another one of my favorites. You're running a bunch of my old favorite stuff. I love this. 1 and a white for a 2/1 protection from Black Exalted. Love it. Kodama the West Tree is a house. This is such a good card. Looks like there's a cheaper version of the card available, but on MTGO it's very cheap. Oh, I'm sure. Kodama the West Tree. 2 and a green for a 3/3 reach. Modified creatures you control have trample. That seems so good. So good with Rafiq. So you do have trample enablers, so that's really good. Whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you get 2 rampant growth, so that's always fine. Berserk is underplayed, I think, because it doubles as removal and player removal. You're not wrong. It really is player removal. I'll give you that. Ooh, Core Spirit Dancer. There's a bunch of nostalgic cards on this. I love it. 1 and a white for an 0/2. Core Spirit Dancer gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. Whenever you cast an aura, you draw a card. That's just great. Do you run the Enchantresses in here? You should run the Enchantresses. If you have any. Because you run so many enchantments. Why not? Where were we at? There we go. Light Paws is so good. 1 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with lesser mana value or equal to that aura. Really? I thought it was only lesser. That is insane. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to Light Paws. That's so good. Light Paws is insane. Looter Ilkor, 1 and a blue for a 1/1 shadow. When Looter Ilkor deals combat damage to an opponent, draw a card, then discard a card. Sure. Just an early evasive creature. Moon Circuit Hacker, 1 and a blue for a 2/1 ninjutsu. When Moon Circuit Hacker deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card unless Moon Circuit Hacker entered the battlefield this turn. Sure. It's an early game threat. Like it has evasion on it. It's kinda. I'll get you my little chip action here. Thought it said Necropotent, so I was gonna be like, how you do? Okay. The ninja might be a little out of place. Yeah, it might be a little bit. I agree. This might be an easy, like, replace card. Necropede. 2 for a 1/1 with Infect. When it's put into the graveyard, you may put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Just an early game. True. It's an early evasive creature, and it's also an enchantment. That's a good point, super fast. I don't know. It has pros and cons for sure. Noble Hierarch's fantastic. Mana ramp with Exalted on it. Quasali, removal with Exalted on it. Siona, Captain of the Pylis. 1 a green and a white for a 2/2. When Siona, Captain of the Pylis, enters the battlefield, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal an aura card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. Whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a creature you control, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. That seems great. It tutors up an aura. Gives you value for playing them. Sovereign of Lost Alara is so good. This was such a good card back in the day, dude. I mean, it's still good in Commander, but when it was in Standard, that was so cool. When you did Eldrazi Conscription with it. Love that. 4 a white and a blue for a 4/5 Exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, you may search your library for an aura card that could enchant that creature, put it onto the battlefield attached to that creature, then shuffle your library. Super good. Infinite combo piece. Siona is? I'm assuming is what you're talking about. Oh yeah, because is it with the roll tokens or whatever? Yeah, Sovereigns of Lost Alara is so good. SRAM Senior Artificer or Edificer, weird. 1 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. That's just good card draw. Sublime Archangel's kinda nutty. Siona, yes. Nice. What do you say? Cephalid Constable? Cephalid Constable, 1 and 2 blue for a 1/1. When Cephalid Constable deals combat damage to a player, return up to that many target permanents that player controls to their owner's hand. Ooh, that might be a cool one to consider. SFT. That's kind of spicy in there. It's a good shout out. Where were we at here? Sublime Archangel seems insane. 2 and 2 white for a 4/3 flying Exalted. Other creatures you control have Exalted. Yes. Especially tokens. It doesn't say non-tokens, so yes. Sithis, the Harvest Hand. 1 green, 1 white for a 1/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life, draw 1 card. Awesome. Vadalcan Heretic. Oh, I haven't seen this in so long. A blue and a green for a 1/1. When it deals damage to an opponent, you draw a card. Yeah, sure. Cephalid Constable costs 3. It's not bad. Centaur Garden. I think I really like the art to this. I do. The art is so good on this. Oh yeah, Centaur Garden would be just a good land to run. It's just a forest that you can tap. It does 1 damage to you, but you can crack it to give someone a giant growth if you have Threshold. That seems not bad, honestly. I kind of like that. Another cool shout out. So next we've got, and then finally on creatures we got Venerated Rot Priest. Oh, I don't know what word was coming out there. 1 green for a 1/2 toxic 1. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. Great card. Again, early game threat that has the potential to kill. So that's what we want. Now we're getting to the enchantment. Some of the spicy stuff. All that glitters. Enchant creature gets 1/1 for each other artifact and enchantment. Awesome. Ancestral Mask. 2 and a green for an enchant creature, enchant aura. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 for each other enchantment on the battlefield. Whoa. I might put this on the daily card. That's actually really sick. I actually really like that. Aqueous, or Aqueous. Is that what it is? Aqueous form. 1 blue for enchant creature. Enchant creature can't be blocked. Whenever enchant creature attacks, scry 1. This does every single thing you want to do. Makes your commander evasives, lets you scry 1 card. It's an enchantment. It's cheap. Armadillo Cloak, awesome. 1 a green and a white. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has trample and shroud. Or no, it doesn't have shroud. Sorry. Trample and lifelink. I don't know why I thought it gave shroud. Super good though. Armadillo Cloak is awesome. Canopy cover, so good. I forgot this card existed. 1 and a green for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchant creature can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. And it also has hexproof. That's a super good card. Hey, could finally catch a stream. Heck yeah, Floppo. You got here halfway through this time. Ow, 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 ow. If you got any card suggestions for Rafiq of the Many, it's like a Voltron / early game infect deck, so it has like 2 avenues of winning. Shout it out in the comments because we've got the deck creator in the comments here. Super fast tortoise. Canopy cover's great. Corrupted Conscience, 3 and 2 blue for enchant creature. You control enchant creature has infect. I think this card's just kind of good. I was looking at this the other day and I'm like, if there's any problems on the board, this is good because you just enchant the problem, you get it, and then the problem becomes a bigger problem. Or if you have the problem, you just enchant it and it gets infect and you can just sneak a kill. It can be a dead card. There could be nothing in play, but if there's nothing in play, you're not potentially dying as easily, so that's a good thing. I don't know. Yep, there's the card I was bringing up. Eldrazi Conscription. Good thing you have it in here. 8 colorless for an enchantment. Enchant aura. Enchant creature gets +10/+10. Has trample and Annihilator 10 or Annihilator 2. This is probably like one of the best things you can. Probably the best thing you could put on Rafiq. Such a good card. Ethereal Armor is a close second though. This is super good. 1 white to give an enchant creature +1/+1 for each enchantment, and it has first strike. I never even realized to get first strike. That's crazy. Control magic plus infect is valid. It really is. It really is. Corrupted Conscience, your own creature. Most cases, yeah. Most cases, you're just like throw it on my Rafiq in just 1 shot, or throw it on my other unblockable thing in 1 shot. Finest Hour, there we go. 2 a green, a white, and a blue for an enchantment with Exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, if it's the first combat turn, untap that creature. There's an additional combat phase after this one. That's pretty good. That's actually kind of cool. You have access to a double combat in Bant. Love that. Mantle of the Ancients. 3 and 2 white for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When Mantle of the Ancients enters the battlefield, return any number of auras and or equipments from your graveyard to the battlefield attached and equipped. Wait. Oh, attached and enchanted. I don't know why I thought equipped is the thing. To that creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. Oh my goodness. This is gross. That's a really good card. Exalted plays well with greater good. Oh, it does. Because if someone's going to block or try to do something tricky, you just get a ton of value out of it. An enchantment, and it's an enchantment, so that's good in this deck. Sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power, then discard 3 cards. Yeah, that greater good actually seems pretty saucy in there. 1 with the wind. 1 and a blue for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has flying. That seems like not a bad card. 2 to give a creature a 2/2 buff and flying. It's actually not bad. Rancor's so good. I'm so happy you have Rancor in here. 1 green for enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. When Rancor's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return it to your hand. I'm a big fan of Spirit and Dell in most of my Voltron decks. Very nice evasion. But forecast can be hit or miss. Spirit and Dell. Are you playing an ad right now? You sick sons of guns. Spirit and Dell. Oh! You have showed me this before, and it's sick. 2 and a white for a 2/1 shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. Forecast, 1 and a white. Reveal Spirit Endel from your hand. Target creature gains shadow until end of turn. Play this ability only during your upkeep and only once each turn. This actually seems good. It's a way to give Rafiq shadow every single turn, or just play an early evasive card. So this is doing both things you want it to be doing. That's actually like a super good ad in Rafiq. 1 with the wind goes so hard. Let's see. Oh, that's the one we just looked at. Sorry. Wow, the foil is surprisingly expensive. Of One with the Wind? Oh, I didn't see the foil. Oh, I guess it didn't show it. Nice thought. Yeah, it seems good. Rankar's great. Shielded by Faith. What does this do? 1 and 2 white for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature as indestructible. When a creature enters the battlefield, you may attach Shielded by Faith to that creature. Shielded by Faith's great. It's a super good card. Oh, Shielding Plaques. I love Shielding Plaques. I'm so happy this is in there. 2 in a hybrid Simic. Enchant creature. When Shielding Plaques enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. So it gets hexproof and you draw a card. Super good. Staggering Insight. A blue and a white for a 2/2, or sorry, a blue and a white for an aura. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That seems pretty good, actually. This deck seems very well constructed. I'm sure it is. Super Fast Tortoise seems like he's a man of good deck building prowess. Prison Term will also combo with Siona. Oh, really? Oh, it will. Prison Term's another great way to combo with Siona. Every time a 1/1 enters, you just re-equip it to Prison Term. And then the last one will have Prison Term on it, and you can make infinite. That's cool. There's another combo. Sigarda's Aid is so good. You get to play and equip stuff as though it had flash. Why not? Spectral Flight. Oh, it's the same thing as One with the Wind. It's just an older card. That's good. Sterling Grove seems great. Other enchantments you control have Shroud. Sack it to search for an enchantment and put it on top. That's actually just a really good card. And then we've got sorceries and instants. Idyllic Tutor, tutor up an enchantment, of course. Open the Armory, tutor up an aura. Retether, return each aura from your graveyard to play. Only creatures can be enchanted this way. Oh my gosh, return all your auras attached to Rafiq. I'm sure this has won you a ton of games, just out of the blue. Used to run Staggering Insight, tempo out of the deck slow. That's fair enough. Retether seems great. Wargate. X, a blue, a green, and a white for a sorcery. Search your library for a permanent card with converted mana cost X or less. Put it into play, then shuffle your library. Wargate's just cool. I wish it was an instant, but I mean, that'd be probably too good. Winds of Abandon. 1 and a white for a sorcery. Exile target creature you don't control. For each creature exiled this way, its controller searches their library for a basic land card and puts those lands into play tapped. And then has Overload for 2 and 2 white. So you can pay 2 and 2 white to exile all creatures you don't control, and they get a basic land for all of them. That's a really good card. A 1-way board white for 6. I'll give you a bunch of lands. I don't care. Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the only things I can think of is just some more budget efficient. Maybe if you go all in on auras, then you run the risk of people killing stuff and you have no way to buff. And if you run those small equipments, you still have ways to buff, even if they try to destroy creatures. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting balance. Eldrami's Call. A white and a green for an instant. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal it. Put it under your hand. Then shuffle your library. Eldrami's Call is insane. The fact that this is an $8 card has always blown me away. Enlightened Tutors. Some more tutors. Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare. Some 2/1 white removal spells. Which, of course, they're very, very good. That's the deck. Super cool. Like that guy said, this looks very efficient. It looks very like tightly crafted, which I like a lot. I don't know if you said, was this your main deck, or is this maybe get a classic Sun Titan in there, even if it seems slow? Yeah, I love Sun Titan. I absolutely love Sun Titan. And it kind of fits the theme of having Rafiq as one threat and then one thing as a side threat. And that one just comes in a little bit later. You can just drop Sun Titan after Rafiq, bring back a powerful aura attached to Sun Titan or attached to Rafiq. Either way, it seems good. This seems great. I really like this list. The Ninja's one card that I'm like, I don't know. The only cards that I wasn't feeling was the Ninja, Bone Splitter, and Darksteel Axe. And Vanquisher's Axe. Those 3 axes and the Ninja are the only cards that I really wasn't feeling too much. I think there's might be something else to go. One of my main decks, it's really cool. I like it a lot. Very cool deck. So just some of the stuff we pointed out. Ancestral Mask is so cool, by the way. Love that card. So some of the stuff. Cephalid Constable, I think, seems really good with all the buffs and all the Exalted you run. As just like another lane of winning is just playing a Cephalid Constable, making it somewhat evasive with like a Rancor or something, and then just wiping people's boards over and over with it. Centaur Garden just seems great as a way to sneak a buff. Greater Good's cool. I think you might need to play test it. No Soul Ring. You running a ban list? Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of mana ramp in here at all, but it seems like it might be low mana cost enough that you don't really need a bunch of it at all. It's just crazy how much different this deck is than mine, because mine is like 16 pieces of mana ramp. Oh, Crawl Space is such a good ad. Such a good ad. Oh, what's up, Keaton? That was you. Good job. Crawl Space is such a good fucking suggestion. You need to come play Magic, by the way, my guy. Because you need to play those new decks. And I need to play Henzi again. Because I built it again. Because I thought Sneak Attack was too good in Henzi. Crawl Space is insane. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. That just seems really good to keep you not being messed with in Rafiq. If like big creature decks are trying to swing your way, nah, not anymore. Spirit Endal seems great. It gives Rafiq Shadow every turn, which is super good. Or it's just an early game creature with a ton of evasion, which is exactly what we want. So yeah, just some suggestions of some cards to put in. I really liked Helm of the Gods and Ancestral Mask. I think that's insane. I'm on a hiatus from everything at the moment, I think. Oh no. And bad move, buddy. Bad move, buddy. Come on. It's going to be a good move, buddy. As soon as I get to playtest the thing, I think it'll be fine. I just got to figure out how to walk the balance of big creatures and small creatures in that list. I really like Ancestral Mask a lot. I think this is a very cool card. Because it's everyone's enchantments. That's super good. Like it. Love the deck, dude. There's some suggestions. If you want to take them, go for it. You've played the deck far more than us. I hardly attack with Rafiq. Usually removing a player turn 4 or 5. Yeah, Rafiq's just like a side plan. Normally you can kill someone by turn 4 or 5 with the infect and the buffs and the small evasion and stuff. So that's true. I think a lot of this still plays into that though. Because Cephalid's really good. I think Crawl Space, Spirit Endel, and Cephalid Constable are 3 that I'm like, that's really, really good. You're restricted from my undoing. I'm restricted from your undoing. What does that mean? What does that mean? Superfast Tortoise got it? What the fuck? You guys have inside jokes already? That land is solid, though. It is really solid. That Centaur Garden's actually sick. The art is so good. The art is, like, really, really cool. Love it. Cool. Good deck, my guy. I like it a lot. I am going to, what time is it? Oh, it's only 8:30. Cool. I'm gonna go get some food. Get a drink. Kick it back a little bit. I can't test your deck, or I can't test my deck until you play. Yeah. Dude, I can't. I got no one else to play with, bro. Everyone else doesn't message me. And then... oh my god, your names are messing with me. You and Kryptonite have like the same amount of syllables. And it starts with a K. It ends with a T. Okay, yeah, that's why it's messing with me. I was like, Keaton went quick from the XD to the looks like a golf course to the enjoy the food. Anyway, sorry, rambling. Have a good one. Night, guys. Cool deck. If you guys want to check out the VOD, if you just checked in a little bit late, it'll be uploaded on the channel. You have a good one.